All right. Hello, hello, hello to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All right. I would have been more on time. I got a call from my job. I had to get something situated. But here I am. You are tuning into put a pin in it, Conversations with Elisa, and my name is Elisa. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, listen. As you come in, let me know where you are from. Where are you streaming from? I see a lot of people on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Y'all need to catch up. Instagram is my place to be. All right. You're going to enjoy this segment on tonight. I'm going to start a little bit late. My guest I know is probably going to be prompt. I told her to be here at 9:25, 28. But me and Queen have something to talk about. So we're not going to rush, but we're going to get through what we got to get through. So I hope everybody has had a lovely day. It is Tuesday. I am a year older. All right. Last week, I celebrated my 45th birthday. I know I don't look like I'm 45, but I celebrated my 45th birthday, and I am so glad to be alive. Whenever you have a birthday, you need to make sure that you celebrate and allow those that are in your life to celebrate you. All right. Yes, I am a Pisces, the best sign there is, Pisces. All right. We get it done. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring my co-host in for sports and things. And that is Queen. How are you, Queen?
We got to get this thing going.
We got to get it popping. Get it popping.
And happy birthday, girl. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Let me turn you up. Say it again. Let me turn you up. Sarah, say it again.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Hey. Birthday.
Hello, Mika. Mika on Instagram is saying, I finally caught your show live. Jonathan Slocum, I knew he was gonna be on because his baby gonna be on tonight.
Hey.
Mika Money, I love y'all. Yes, I am 45 years old, years young.
Flashes yet?
Huh?
Are you having hot flashes yet?
No. And the thing about this is my mom did not experience menopause.
Good.
Bless you. So I think my water's gonna be running for a long time. Woo! But anyway, I thank God for that. Nothing is broke. I'm well intact. I thank God for that. But let me tell you something.
My work. I'm just talking about like
the next day, Queen. The kids challenged me to play basketball.
You did,
right? So I played basketball, and I could tell that I was a year older. I was like, woo, girl, I won, but it was a struggle. I couldn't, after I was struggling to get up them stairs, I was like, Lord have mercy, I can't do this no more.
All right, so tell me this real quick.
Yes.
So the young lady, because I wanted to talk about this too, since we on the age subject. Young lady on YouTube said she was in her 30s. It was her birthday coming up. She said she want to have fun now because she don't want to be 50 on it all. Because I said, maybe I go to somebody's island this year. I think I'm going to let it all out.
Costa Rica, I said I was going to do that, but I didn't. I mean, it's just the way I was raised, I think. Maybe when I get a man or something like that and we going out and I'll do it for him, but I'm not big on showing my body off. I'm just not. I have a body, but I'm not big on showing it off.
Yeah.
So
that's why my girl, if you saw my body, I'm really light, like 2 shades lighter than my face. My so light you can see my veins and my chest. Like it's,
oh God.
I'm like the Shulamite woman. You know the Lord talk about the Shulamite, so I'm talking about the Shulamite. Yeah.
My guest is here. Tanya, we got on late. So you have about 30 minutes before we start. So if you want to go get some water, get something to eat, you can come right back.
We be with you.
Oh, you right there? Okay, cool. All right. We about to talk about this right now. Mr. John, we about to talk about this right now. NAACW. We only talking about the women because the men is trash this year. They are trash. Ain't they? We only talking about the women. All right. So the first bracket that we're going to talk about is Albany #1. All right. So South Carolina is #1 in this bracket. So they get to play number 16, which is somebody that I don't even know. So we already know they're going to beat them. All right. So in the bracket, we got North Carolina, Michigan State, Oklahoma, FGCU, Indiana, Fairfield. I don't know none of these people. Nebraska, Texas A&M, Oregon State, Eastern Washington, Ole Miss. Okay, Ole Miss.
Okay,
that's a monkey wrench. Marquette, that's a monkey wrench.
So
Oh, they coming up. Notre Dame and Kent. This is a bunch of nobody. So we already know that South Carolina gonna make it to the Elite Eight. We already know that. We already know that. We already know. All right, here we go. Ole Miss is a monkey wrench. I'm telling you right now. So South Carolina got to stay on the game. All right, the next one. Albany 2. The #1 seed in this bracket is our little darling, Caitlin Clark. All right, this is a hard bracket. Okay, anybody can make it if they want to. So we got our and Holy Cross. Holy Cross is not gonna make it, so they already advanced. So we already know that. West Virginia, Princeton, Colorado. That's a monkey wrench. Drake, Kansas State, monkey wrench. Portland, Louisville, monkey wrench. Middleton. When I say monkey wrench, that means they can win. Yeah. Okay. LSU, Rice. Okay, so LSU plays Rice. We know they're gonna beat Rice. Louisville plays Middle Tennessee. That means Louisville and LSU gonna play each other. And guess where Van Leet came from? Louisville. LSU gonna be out at the Elite Eight. I said it here. Louisville is gonna beat LSU. John Moore.
You hit that jump.
This is a diehard LSU fan, okay?
Oh, wow. You wasn't beating me up in the comments the other day, was you?
Listen. LSU is going down. After they gonna get by with that little win with this number 14 Rice. Who the heck is Rice? Where they from? I don't know. But LSU is going to lose to Louisville because they got a chip on their shoulder. Van Lee, when they found out that they might play Louisville, I know she was like, "Dog, I should have stayed with Louisville because we ain't got but 8 players." LSU ain't got but 8 good players. They don't have a bench. So I don't even know why people are so delusional. They are not going to make it through this. They're just not going to. All right, anyway, we got Creighton. Who is that? I don't know. UNLV, UCLA, and California Baptist. Okay, all them. I don't know. All them are.
Wow.
He said all we need is 5. Listen, these are back-to-back games. This ain't like the NBA.
Them cheering needs some rest.
Back-to-back. And Angel Reese already weak and feeble. So you already know. All right, so this is Portland. This is the Portland 3. The number one seed here is USC. I'm so proud of Juju. All right. So Southern Cal, they got a lot of monkey wrenches in this one too. So Southern Cal, I can't even see that one. Christie, sound like a Christian college. Kansas, monkey wrench. Michigan, monkey wrench. Baylor, monkey wrench. Virginia Tech. I ain't even trying to read that small one. They are nobody. They ain't gonna make it. Marshall, Syracuse, monkey wrench. You see how small this print is? They don't matter. UConn, monkey wrench. Jackson State, Duke. Duke, they always, I don't know about Duke. Richmond, Ohio State, and Maine.
Ohio number 2. Wow.
Ohio's good. Instagram, are y'all still with me? Because my browser went down. If y'all not still with me, you need to come on over to Facebook and YouTube because that be messing up. All right. I got to keep swishing it with my finger. All right. Number one in this one is Texas. Now, Texas is tough. And if LSU make it out of the Sweet Six, this right here on the Sweet 16, they're not gonna make it past Texas because Texas is gonna win this. Okay, Texas almost beat South Carolina. If it wasn't for big old Cordosa making that 3, they would have went home. I mean, they wouldn't have been champions. They wouldn't have went home, but they wouldn't have been champions. So in this bracket, we got Texas, Drexel, Alabama, Florida State, Utah, South Dakota, Gonzaga, Tennessee. Tennessee is tough. That's who I'm thinking about. Tennessee. Tennessee is tough. They might win. They might beat Texas. Green Bay, North Carolina State, Iowa State, Maryland, Stanford. So everybody has a easy bracket. I mean, South Carolina is the only one that has an easy bracket. Everybody else got a hard way to go. And rightfully so, because South Carolina was the overall number one seed. So we are going to be with this March Madness. I'm telling y'all, I can't wait. Because I can't tell y'all because I don't want nobody to stalk me. So after it's over, I'll let y'all know what's going on. All right. Next, we want to talk about the NAACP. Did you watch it?
I loved it. I didn't watch all of it. I like seeing people that look like me. You know, I woke up the other morning. This morning, it's like I'm tired of seeing these white people on this. Like, I'm not precious, but I want to see somebody that look like me. Like,
right. So the NAACP is all about everybody that look like us. Okay. Yeah. So, but what I don't like what happened with everybody that look like us is that sometimes we don't tell the truth. And what I mean is, how the heck did the color purple win 11 NAACP awards? How? Tell me. How?
He Fantasia, but wait a minute.
How? 11. Even for wardrobe. How? Wardrobe for the color purple?
What? Who were they up against?
Oh, I'm gonna pull it up. Why would you ask me that?
I want to know.
I'm about to tell you. I don't understand. But we about to go through it. Award winners. This is crazy to me. It seemed like a handout, and that to me that ain't right. Okay, Entertainer of the Year was right. It was Usher. He won against Keke Palmer, Halle Berry, Fantasia, Coleman. Okay. The first color purple really should have won something. That's what I'm saying.
That should have
won.
Right.
And I said this in the beginning. If they won, the first cast of the color purple should have been praised over and over and over and over again, because the first color purple was like it was phenomenal. There's no touching it. And so people was trying to tell me, you know, well, it wasn't based off the old one. You got to be. Yes, it was. It just was watered down. That's all it was. But anyway, let's keep going. All right, outstanding motion picture. You had American Fiction, Origin, Rustin, The Color Purple. They cloned Tyrone. The Color Purple won that one. Outstanding actor. They don't even have it's a motion picture. That's why they ain't on that. Okay, outstanding actress in a motion picture. I can't say that name. Ellis Taylor. In Origin, Fantasia Barrino won that. Over Halle Berry and The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That Little Mermaid movie was good.
It probably was, but yeah, I agree with that.
I love Fantasia. God knows I do.
Win.
But over no. And I see you, Mika, but it won't better than the Little Mermaid. Tiana Taylor, 1001. Yari.
You know, she got on my nerves.
I know that.
She got on my nerves in that.
Outstanding supporting actor in a motion picture. Okay, wait. These categories ain't starting to make sense now. This Dagger had two of these. Outstanding actor in a motion picture. Outstanding supporting actor in a motion picture. They got Coleman Domingo from The Color Purple. Then they got two people in here from The Color Purple. They just put everybody. Corey Hawkins and Coleman Domingo won for The Color Purple. And I don't even know what character he played.
I haven't seen it yet. I like Fantasia, and I saw her clip.
What character was Colin Domingo?
I don't like musicals. I like the old Color Purple. I like Fantasia, and I saw the little clips, the making of everything. But
and you're talking about NAACP now for the Little Mermaid. Let's go back. This was our first black prince. Well, I mean, you had Tiana Taylor, but she was in New Orleans. But we're talking about the Little Mermaid. We always saw that she was white with red hair. And then they turned around and made her black. She did good. And she sang too. All right, let me keep going.
She sang? Halle Berry sang in there?
Halle, yeah, she sang.
Oh.
Now, outstanding supporting actress in a motion picture. They had that. This is where they blew me right here. Outstanding supporting actress in a motion picture. They had Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, Divine Randolph, The Holdovers. I ain't seen none of these pictures. Erica Alexander, American Fiction, Halle Berry, Bailey, The Color Purple, and Taraji Henson, The Color Purple. They had 3 nominations.
Now, Bailey should have won that.
Who should have won that?
Halle Bailey.
No, Danielle Brooks should have won that.
Who won it?
Taraji.
Oh. Okay.
Sophia was the best actress in the whole movie. See, that's how I know these were handouts. They gave that to Taraji because she cried on everything. She cried on every little thing that they had.
Why is it about us, like you said, the lie? We will go along with the status quo. We will go along with stuff, but the Oscars gonna be the Oscars. The Grammys gonna be. They ain't giving
Listen,
nothing that she ain't.
You trying to tell? That's why I rock with the Oscars. Y'all can say what you want to do, because whenever an Oscar beats out everybody in a movie, if you go watch that movie is good. I don't care if it's a movie that you would never look at. If that movie wins 4 or 5 Oscars, not alone 11 NAACP awards, there are people that walk out of The Color Purple. Are you kidding me? And you giving it 11 awards? You gotta be kidding me. Anyway, so they had 3 people in here, and they gave it to Taraji because Danielle Brooks acted her butt off in that movie. She should have got that. I'm sorry. All right, let me calm down. And outstanding breakthrough performance in a motion picture. All right. They got Felicia Pearl Passy from The Color Purple. Who was she in The Color Purple?
I haven't even heard her name on the sidewalk.
Outstanding ensemble cast in a motion picture, The Color Purple. Y'all stop playing in my face. Y'all need to quit this.
Hold up. What was that movie with? Did Black Panther get all that?
No. Then you got outstanding animated motion picture. I know this a lie. Outstanding animated motion picture, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That movie was stupid and it was dumb. And I had the nerve to go to a 4D and watch that movie, and I rocked the whole night. Hoping somebody was going to turn into a real person, and they didn't. I walked out of that theater so pissed. I said, what did I just watch? And look, they got an NAACP award. Y'all need to stop. Stop it right now.
They gave them out.
Stop it right now.
They gave them out.
Stop it right now.
Why didn't we get an invite? We didn't get an invite. Why didn't we get an invite?
To what?
To the NAACP. Why didn't we get an invite?
I ain't want to go to that. If they're going to give out stuff like this, outstanding breakthrough creative, Blitz, Buzzwalk.
Now, Shannon Sharp did deserve his.
He did. I don't understand. I really just. Okay, we done. And Abbott, they deserve theirs. I hear a lot of, and Mike Epps and the Upshaws, they deserve it. If you need something to watch that's gonna make you laugh on Netflix, that's a series.
I'm gonna watch.
The Upshaws is so good. I love it.
The Upshaws.
Yes. My other stuff that I like, I know y'all ain't gonna like it because y'all too black. I have a little white humor in me. Because I like working moms too. But y'all probably be like, what is she watching? Bel Air deserved theirs. I love Bel Air. All right, but just so you know, when I give a review, I'm not biased. Okay? I'm not biased when I give a review. So I got some reviews that's coming up. Because y'all know there's some things coming out. All right, here we go. You want to talk about this?
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. So I'm like, is this fixed? Because I was watching Mike, and I'm watching him. He was like, he had a shirt with a contract. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. And it's like he can't act. And then the Jake guy go over there and sign the contract. I signed the contract. So I'm like, okay, what is this?
Well, that's how boxing do, you know. They always have this animation and all this gearing up before the fight. They've always done it. So they always do that.
Mike don't know how to act and don't know how to play.
Right. It's gonna be a rude awakening. If at any time that he gets triggered, Jake Paul is gonna regret.
He's gonna be triggered when he get in the ring. He's like, and I love it. He's like, see, that's what I'm saying. These pit bulls, it's like I relate to them because don't get me there. Don't get me angry. You're not gonna like me when I get angry.
Right.
You're not.
Right.
So the thing is that they said, well, Mike, how's it gonna be? Is this something, And he was like, no, let's just talk about it when we get in the ring. Once we get in the ring, he was like, are you doing this for money? He was like, I'm just like anybody else. Like, he was like, what do you mean? Break it down. And so the thing is, Mike don't know how to turn that part of him off once he said, dang, I think something clicks, and he just, because watching him work out, I was like, he had me hype. I was in here like,
yeah. Mike Tyson is going to destroy him if it's not fixed. And so Mika is asking, is it pay-per-view? It's on Netflix. Yes, it is pay-per-view. No, it's live on Netflix Saturday, July the 20th. I don't
Even
think it's pay-per-view. But
so,
even if it
okay,
is,
even
I'm
if,
going go ahead.
even if it's fixed, I don't think, other than his trainers, people don't know that Mike is not going to know how to act and turn this thing. I really don't think he's going to know how to turn it off.
Mm. I agree. I agree. I
Like,
think
it's not a
it's gonna
game. Like,
be
y'all can play like, okay, let's act
it's gonna
Mike
be
do
nap
this.
nap time.
Yeah, out.
Yeah, because there's a video out of him talking about himself and how he's afraid of himself. And he knows as a part of himself that is dangerous. And he started crying in the interview saying that
And that's
he
it.
he's scared of who he is and he tried to keep that person buried. So yeah, if I was Jake Paul and I saw that, I would definitely be afraid
And when he
because this
cries,
man.
turn to that person. Remember how when you was a kid, I remember all the time before I'm getting ready to fight, I be like, oh my God, and I start crying. I used to years ago when I was in the store and somebody get me mad or treat me mean, I just be like, oh my, because I'm getting ready to turn into that person that you do not, you don't want that person. And
Right.
so I cry. I cry.
Wow. Um, my
It's
mama
a chicken
taught
whip
me.
ass waiting for somebody just mm, and I walk away. I walk away. Ever since that time, I was facing them 10 years, and I found out that there is no self defense law here in Maryland.
Oh wow.
The judge said you should have walked away, and my lawyer said she was a mother bear fighting for her cubs. That's what got me. Look, that's what got me probation, girl. I had to do that probation. Oh, Jesus, thank you, Lord.
Oh God. Our next story. We're gonna be ready. Okay, before we go into that,
Oh,
please stay around. Tanya Dunn is backstage and she will be giving us a journey, her journey, life journey on caring for someone you love until the end. Okay, if you are caring for someone, if you are a caregiver for your children, for your spouse, for your parents, anybody, I need you to like and share now so that you can hear this journey that Tanya has been on. I am excited to hear about it. So we got about 15 minutes. So go ahead and like and share, like and share. Let's get these
call
numbers up.
somebody up.
Yes. Start tagging people because this is going to be, I believe, it's going to be a phenomenal interview and you do not want to miss it. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Talk about these
Okay,
people
so
that I do not know. I don't know
this
them.
young man. I zoomed in on him, honey. He is fine, and I yeah, if I met him, and yeah, I probably date him too. At 50, I would. And when did she get all these hips? Because she used to be a string bean.
I
So
don't know who this person is. So you got to
that's
tell me who it is.
Rhea from Atlanta Housewives. She was Jackie's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's why she Basketball Wives. She was Jackie's friend on Basketball Wives, and she made a
Oh.
debut. And then she, I guess, from what I heard, she's a pass around because Gilbert Arenas was on Shannon Sharp show talking about how she been passed around, and
Mm.
yeah, like snobbing on and up in the back seat while another player was driving. Yeah, they said she been passed
Oh.
around.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but I'm
she's with who is Jalen Green?
a basketball player.
Oh,
NBA.
okay. Where he play at? Because I don't even know his name.
Girl, where he play? We're gonna find out. Cause I look, don't get me the line. I just want to know how many women out there that would date somebody younger than your son.
Cause she's what, 17 years older than him? She's
Yes.
17 years older than him, right?
Yeah. Jalen Green.
Now, I've dated someone younger than me, probably around about 9, 10 years younger. Um, but 17 years? Yee.
He
That
plays
means
Rockets.
he
Houston Rockets.
played for the I saw him play the other night then. He didn't move the needle for me. I saw him last night, the other night. Would y'all, okay, ladies or men, would you date somebody that is 17 years your younger?
Just the 17. I would do the 17, right? I'm talking about that her son is older than him, from what I understand, or is the same age.
I mean, I think it's the same question. Like, even if I didn't have a son, would I date somebody that is 17 years younger than me? What would we have in common? Like, what?
It varies. It varies. I'm a child at heart, and I'm very, very playful, and then there's a serious professional side to me, and so I don't want somebody that's like so bored. I don't want a boring man.
So you want to be out in the street?
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm youthful. I like to. I'm working out. I'm having. I'm doing fun stuff. I might be pranking you in the house, doing all little silly stuff like that. That's just, I'm that type of girl. So I don't want serious all day. Just come home, take a shower, and then you go to bed. I want to swing from the chandeliers. I want to role play. I want this stuff.
Got you.
Yeah.
I can feel you with that. So
but a lot of older men or my age, like 50-ish, they just want just missionary and just watch a movie and not be adventurous. But yeah, she's pregnant by him.
It would be nice to meet someone my age. I'm 50 or a couple years older.
I'm 52, Carlin. Hey, girl.
Oh, God. But no.
She is like, how old is this child? She what, 40? Is this girl 40 something?
She's 37. I think he's 21, something like that.
She 39.
Yeah, something like that.
I think she lying about 39.
I mean, she don't look like her age, and she probably don't act her age either. So
girl, that's a lot of treatment and makeup and things. That's money look good. I think I need some little Botox. I'm trying to work on
all right, we got 7 minutes. What?
Hey, where's Waldo? I mean, where's Kate? Where's Kate, y'all? They are saying that the princess was recently seen, but then TMZ said that it was a fake photo or a botched photo or whatever. We just trying to make sure the people in the streets are saying that this may be a repeat of what happened to Diana, and that Prince Charles is out there cheating, that he messing with some little other young lady.
What?
Yeah. So I'm gonna follow this. They said that she was seen recently, but the people on the roadside hasn't confirmed it yet.
But so she hasn't been seen.
She had stomach surgery. She was rushed out and had stomach surgery around the same time the daddy announced he had cancer.
Wow.
So thick neck right in there. So
all right, Kate, get yourself together. That's probably why Megan running around trying to get away. All right, so I want to talk about this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He sold 2 of his rings and something else, a lot of paraphernalia from himself to donate to some young children. So we want to give him a hand. But my thing is this though. Did it have to be that? Like, couldn't he just ask for money? Couldn't he like raise the money? He raised $2.5 million for just 2 rings and something else. I think he said something that he gave away, and he gave it to charity. 4 rings. I saw 2 rings. Maybe it was 4, but it was his stuff. Why he got to give away his stuff? Like, I don't know. He ain't gonna regret that. He didn't keep it for himself though.
Did he?
He didn't. He gave it to a charity.
I wouldn't have did that. I would have passed that down to my
Mika
kids.
says, say what?
Yeah. I would have gave it to my kids, my grandkids.
That's what I'm saying. He got like 5 kids. He got 5 kids. He got 3 boys and 2 girls. So I'm like, dude, why? But TikTok is on its way being banned. So
I can't stand.
everybody that's trying to be Risa Tisa, it ain't gonna work. Because they are banning it. They are saying, I mean, it's not proven, but they're saying that a lot of our information is being swapped here and there. So for safety reasons, they want to take it away from the United States unless China sells it. And you know good and well, China ain't doing it.
I agree.
China is not doing it.
I agree because I think it is. It's sensitive
You
information.
think what?
I think that they're it's leaking a lot of our information.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What makes you think?
Now that they have, because they asked me, they send me asking, do I want to put my books on there? So I put one book on there, and then I'm like, okay, you want me to link this to my accounts and all this other stuff. And then it also asks you to let them know your location and all that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm, it's a lot.
I haven't been on there in a while, but I don't know. Sometimes our government wants to Why are you laughing at me, Meek? I said her name wrong. I always say people's names wrong. I'm sorry. All right, we're gonna keep on moving. If you were trying to go to Miami Beach, they have put in some strict laws. 250 people have already been arrested for breaking curfew, going against what they say, not drinking and all this kind of stuff right there. So if you're trying to go to Miami to have fun, you're not going to have fun. They want you to behave when you come, and they're making it ridiculous. Like I think the curfew is like 9-10 o'clock. Oh, so wow. It's really early and all of those things. So they're really tracking. They even had a commercial telling people don't come to Miami. We don't want you to come here. So in times past, they just really been running amok in Miami. And I guess the people are tired of it. I guess. Are we moving? 1 minute. Let's get through it. All right. LeBron James and JJ Redick have come out with a podcast called Mind the Game. So we're going to check that out. I'm not checking it out because I'm not a LeBron fan.
Me either. And so is that why all this stuff going on with Savannah?
The only reason why no, they're going to be talking about basketball only. So the only reason why I'm sharing this is because I think LeBron James is closer to retiring than what people think. I think he's going to he's segueing his way out of the picture. Last but not least, Freaknik will be on Hulu March the 21st. So take down your pictures, take down your videos, everything that you have concerning Freaknik. I was too young. I wasn't around during that time, so I don't have nothing to worry about. But if you were there during them days and we see you in these videos, don't be ashamed. You were young and dumb. We don't care, you know, but if you be a part of the video, we just know that you was a freak. Jessica, are you gonna be on there? Jessica Presley? Carolyn, are you gonna be on there? I know I'm not. My name is not gonna be called. I'm not gonna be on there. All right, so everybody like and share. I'm about to bring on my guest, Tanya Dunn. She stayed patiently in the back. We are going to have a conversation. I am so glad that she was a yes. Thank you, Queen, for being on. Everybody give Queen a hand. All right, we are about to have a conversation. I need you to like and share and like, comment. If you have questions that you want to ask Tanya while we are on, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I will try to make sure I see them and highlight them. So when we're done with her telling her story, we can go back and ask questions. Now, this is a topic that is very dear to a lot of our hearts because I was a caretaker for my mom before she passed. Well, about 3 months. My brother really was the caretaker for her And then you have to make this. There are decisions that have to be made when you can no longer do it for them, and you have to send them to a facility where it's conducive for them to really be taken care of. And I'll talk about that later. Some people, they feel like, hey, we need to try to let everybody in the family um should pitch in to help take care of someone. But sometimes it don't work out that way. And we feel guilty when we can't do it, but in the grand scheme of things, that is what those facilities are for. Okay. But we are about to talk to someone that took care. I'm talking about care of her late husband up until the end, and has found love again. So that is what we're going to be talking about. She's a beautiful lady, y'all. I'm seeing her smiling in the back. All right, so I give y'all give Tanya Dunn a hand, and she has my last name. Hello, Tanya. How are you?
I am well. It's so good to see you again.
Great to see you as well. I am so glad that you have decided to be a yes on Put a Pin in It. I can't wait to jump in. Your fiance was on about 2 weeks ago, and we had a great conversation, and I expect nothing less from having a great conversation with you. All right, so can you tell us who you are and where are you from?
Well, my name is Tanya. I am originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, born and raised there. When my husband was living, we moved to Louisville, Kentucky because he was offered a job here. So that's the reason we live here now.
Okay. What occupation do you have?
Well, I am a child care owner of a child care facility. I do it out of my home, which I've been doing now for about 22 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You love kids that much.
I do. I'm the grandmother of 8, so yeah, I love kids.
I see Tiara Kiana said, "Hey, mommy." She's on Instagram.
Yeah, that's my oldest daughter.
Okay. How many children do you have?
I have 4 girls.
4 girls. Ooh, that's a conversation within itself. You
Right.
survived. Okay.
Right.
So, first of all, I want to congratulate you on your is it new engagement? Y'all got engaged last year, right?
Uh-huh.
So, to my friend Jonathan Slocum, I'm glad that you guys have found each other. But prior to that, you were married. So, could you take us down? How did things happen with your late husband?
Okay. Well, starting out, I married my husband at the age of 18, turning 19. We were both the same age. He was four days older than me.
Mm,
So after graduating from high school, I tried to go to college because, quote unquote, that was what my mom wanted me to do, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I did a year there, and I realized that I really wanted to be married. So at that time, my husband was the church organist,
okay.
and he was born and raised in the church. So that's all he knew was church.
Mm-hmm.
So he attended Job Corps. He graduated from there, and we got married.
Wow.
So a year and a half into the marriage was when he got sick.
Wait a minute.
So
Wait. A year and a half into the marriage, he got sick.
yes, uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So at that time, it was kind of a shocker because I never knew, or he never knew, that he had any health problems. So one Sunday we got up to get ready for church, and it just looked like, when I looked at him, it just looked like all of the weight that he had just disappeared. He just looked like he was a skeleton. So I was very concerned about that. But the type of person my husband was, he was just really, really a faith walker, I guess I would say, because he didn't want to go to the hospital. He wanted to go to church. So we got to the church, and there was a couple of ministers in the office. One was studying to be a doctor, and he looked at him and said, I think you need to go to the hospital.
Wow.
So we went to the hospital. We got there, got him checked in. After all that, the doctors and nurses came in and said, how in the world did you drive here? Because you're supposed to be in a comatose state. Because his sugar count was over 1,200. So he was actually supposed to be in a coma. So to make a long story short, his illness was his kidneys gave out due to being a diabetic. So he went through that for, a couple of years. He went through a kidney transplant. The very first one he got from a cadaver, and that lasted about 4.5 years. So that went out. He ended up back on dialysis. So he did dialysis. I don't know if you're familiar with dialysis, are you?
I am.
Okay, well, he did the hemodialysis, and then after that, he transitioned to the peritoneal, where you do it at home. So he went through that for a while, and had different shunts put throughout his body. The first one was in his chest. The next one was in his thigh. The one in his thigh ruptured. Yeah, he was in one of my kids' rooms. He was sitting on the bed, and they were watching TV, and all of a sudden, he said it just felt warm. And when he stood up, the whole mattress, the blood had saturated all the way through the mattress, and it was just everywhere. So I was screaming, telling my kids to go get towels to try to stop the bleeding. So I was able to get him into the bathroom to sit on the commode. Once he sat on the commode, you could hear the blood dripping in the water. So I was like standing up over him, and he was leaning in my arm, and my third daughter, she was down at his feet. And we just began to pray, because I just thought I had lost him at that moment, because he passed out in my arm. And I was like praying and praying, and my daughter was praying and crying. And during that time, they had called 911. So it was mighty. And I know it was nothing but the power of God, because when the ambulance got there and we got him on the stretcher and got him into the ambulance, all of a sudden he woke up.
Wow.
He woke up. So that was one of the times that I saw the hand of God in his life. And there were many other situations that we encountered that was really, really mind-boggling. One time he was in the hospital, and he had a private room. And he had the TV on, but it wasn't very loud. So at that time, he said that he heard someone call his name, and his name was Jeffrey, but we called him Jeff. So the voice said, Jeff. And my husband said he kind of looked around. He didn't think none of it, kind of laid back down to watch TV. He said, the voice said it again, Jeffrey. He said that time he kind of sat up in the bed, looked around, thought somebody had came in. No one was there. So he was like, So he lay back down again. He got up because the voice said it again, like, Jeffrey. That time he got out of the bed, went to the hallway to make sure that there was no one in the hallway. The hallway was clear. And he thought, now, am I going crazy? Like, what is this? He got in the bed, and the voice said it again, Jeffrey. And at that time, the voice said, what would you have me to do for you?
Wow.
So at that time, he said, if my wife come in here the next day and say something weird happened to her, I'm okay. I won't think I'm going crazy. So I
Mhm.
came in the next morning. I didn't say anything happened to me because it didn't. So later on, he told me the story, and I thought, hmm. So he was discharged from the hospital. Our church had a prayer band that called to see if they can come and
Mhm.
pray and all that. And I'm like, sure, come on over. So they all came over. We were downstairs in the basement, and we had circled up to pray. And one of the guys that was in the circle, he dropped hands and started holding his head. And we were
Mhm.
just kind of like, what's going on with this? So he said, do you all hear that? And we said, hear what? He said, I hear a voice saying, what would you have me to do for you?
Wow.
And at that time, only the only ones that knew what happened was me and my husband. So my husband
Wow.
started crying. I started crying. And from that point on, everything went downhill.
Mm, 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 mm.
His health declined worse. I don't even know if that's the word. Uh, but things got so bad and so heavy and so dark. He had to come off of his job. Our finances were affected. I mean, the hospital stays. And I remember one time he was in there and something told me to go to the registration desk just to ask how many times had he been in there. And at that time, it was over 30 something times that he
Mm.
had been in and out of the hospital at just that point. But, down through the years, like I said, I mean, he would get better, then he would get worse. So I just found myself in a place where I started out on that journey as a very young woman,
Mhm.
and I didn't really know um, how my life was going to take a turn.
Mhm.
All I knew was I was with the man that I loved, and whatever it took, I was going to make sure that the time that God allowed him to be here, that
Mm,
it would
mm.
really be some beautiful days for him.
Wow.
And I
Tanya,
remember, yes,
I want to say this. I can tell that you are a beautiful person inside and out. And it could only have been you because I don't know any 18, 19-year old that could have, and you say y'all got married 18, and
yeah,
then a year after that, you were
yeah,
your husband's caretaker.
yeah, yeah.
And what was the duration? How long how long was he sick? I mean,
I took
what was like how many years was it before?
I took care of him hands on for 22 years.
Mm,
Yeah,
22 years.
22 years. And like I said, I started out as a young woman. I didn't know what like long suffering. I didn't know what it meant to give your life to another person, to put your life on hold
Mm,
and raise four kids. I was trying to do all of that.
wow.
Raise four kids, make sure my kids had what they needed, make sure that my husband was comfortable because I would, take the kids to school, send them to school. Then I would go to the hospital. I would stay there all day because I wanted to be there so that I would know what the doctors were saying and what I needed to do. So it was a lot. It was a struggle. It was a lot of dark days, very dark days. I'm not going to sit here and say that everything was pleasant, that
Right.
everything was hunky dory, because it was not. I was, I think I went into a little bit of a depression because I didn't have a life. My life was consumed of hospitals,
Mm,
seeing sick people, so that was really a lot for me as a young woman to deal with.
Right. So let me ask you this. Could you take us through, is it too much, but can you take, because I know um when I had to take care of my mom for, I only took care of my mom for 3 months.
Wow.
And what happened was she did not want to go to the nursing home. She was in the nursing home before
Okay.
I got there. And so what happened, she was like, Lisa, can you get me out of the nursing home? So me thinking, because I wasn't there, my brother then was trying to tell me, no, Lisa, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, but me
Mhm.
not being there like they were, I was like, she want to be out of the nursing home, let her be out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tanya, she broke her ankle.
Really?
And when she broke her ankle, she was immobile. So that means she was sitting in this recliner chair that me and my brother got for her. She could not move. And so for almost a month, I would wash and bathe her in in her living room because she
Yeah.
did not want to go back to the nursing home.
Yeah.
Until one day I was in her room and tears were in my eyes. I said, and I was like, she gonna have to go back because
Wow.
I can't lift her.
Yeah.
She's not trying to walk. And if she stays here, it's going to be worse. She needs somebody that can, round the clock, whatever. I was still in the army, so I couldn't just take off and just be there. Now,
Right.
if I wasn't in the army, it probably would have been a different thing.
Yeah.
And my brother had his own job, and my mom never wanted us to stop, our lives to take care of her.
Yeah.
But it broke me so bad to be like, Mom, you're really going to have to go back because this is you haven't even had a bowel movement. Like
Wow. Yeah.
this is not healthy. And I until this day I felt guilty about it because
Mhm.
I know that's not what she wanted. And then when she went back in, that's when her health started declining. She stopped talking,
Wow.
she just didn't want, So I want you to take us through like, some things that went through your head like during that time. Like I heard you say, you went through depression. How did you went through those dark days and how did you bring yourself out of those days?
Well, one thing that I realized and I discovered about myself was that I was a very strong woman. I've never thought or considered myself to be a strong woman, but sometimes God will put you in situations and He will show you just how strong you are because He said that He wouldn't give us no more than what we were able to bear. So for me, I just found myself doing what I had to do. I like I said, whatever He needed. Because when He was not in the hospital and He was at home, it was my duty as a wife uh, to take care of him. I did everything for my husband. I bathed him. I lotioned him down. I manicured his feet. I shaved him. Whatever it took for me to show him that I took my vows and I took them with you. I meant every word that I said in sickness and in health
Wow.
until death do us part. Now, was I lonely? Of course, I got lonely because I'm a woman. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, I didn't experience those types of things because I did. But you learn how to tuck that away because you realize what's more important.
And I know
And
that can be done. I know there's
yeah,
some people saying there ain't no way I could have went all that long time because if you listen to the story, he was sick. So
yeah,
no, they won't having sex. He was
at
sick.
all, at
And
all.
so my thing is you got to read between the lines. And people don't feel like that women anybody could keep themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I know that to be true. It just have to be with how you have been raised. And
absolutely.
there
And
are
your faith in God, because
right.
I mean, he's the one that gave me the strength to get through that. And to, like I said, it took a certain level of strength. It took a certain level of knowing myself
Mm-hmm.
to say that I could tuck that away.
Right.
Because, you know, there are a lot of women whose husbands may have been in the same situation. They couldn't take it. They couldn't deal with the feelings, and they went out and did what they had to do.
Mm-hmm.
That was not me. That's not me. That's not the type of woman I am.
Right.
When I'm with you, I'm with you.
Come on
Because
now.
because I know that at the end of the day, God is watching.
Mm.
And I never wanted to do anything that would disappoint him, nevertheless disappoint my husband, even though my husband told me one day when his body started breaking down, he looked at me and he said, "You can walk out on me today."
Wow.
And I would not even blame you. He said, "My body is breaking down. I can't do anything for you in that area." And like I listened, and he kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, but I understood. He
Mm-hmm.
was being considerate of me. And I appreciated that. But my response was, at the end of the day, I love you. I
Right.
am here because of you. I'm not going nowhere. I didn't have any mind to go anywhere. I
Wow.
loved my husband. He was a good man.
Wow.
I would do it all over again if the Lord just, allowed that to happen. I have no regrets for taking care of him for 22 years.
Listen, y'all. Tanya, you are an amazing brother. Jonathan Slocum, he over here saying, yes, you have a wonderful fiance. Now I done flipped the script. If I ever find out that you ain't been, woo, you gonna get it. We all coming for you. This a good woman.
But
Oh
you know what?
God. But he's a good man. He's a good man. So I know y'all, I am so glad that y'all found each other, because let me tell you something. I have never heard, look, all my people talking, we gonna get you. I have never heard, and your daughters are on here praising you.
Oh my God.
That's what I know. How I wish I could put their comments over here. Instagram don't let me do it. But let me tell you something. Tanya, I'm holding back tears because you, and I can tell by the way you talk, you still love this man. You love this man.
Absolutely.
And so I am just enamored by how you talk about him and how you and man. And y'all, I just want to, I have to bring it to, she won't stepping out on her husband. And he told her she could.
No.
Because he knew that she was a young woman. So from 18 all the way up until her 30s.
Yeah. That's a long time.
That's a long time. So Jonathan, you better come with it. he said she's my grand finale. Oh my God. I know I'm gonna be at that wedding. I ain't even worried about it. Thank you for my invitation.
But see, that's why it's so important. It's so important for us as women to really know who we are and what we have.
Yes.
And for me, I know who I am. I know the type of woman I am, and I know I know what I have to give. I know what I have to give. So, like I said, doing all that, the Lord showed me, he taught me how to kind of like rejuvenate myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when he would be in the hospital, I would just, I would go and get some candles. I would light candles. I love taking bubble baths. I would do things like that to kind of replenish myself.
Right.
Because one thing, I wasn't getting ample rest because my husband wasn't sleeping. He would get up all during the night, so that would wake me up. Many nights I would find him sitting on the side of the bed, just kind of, I don't know, I don't know what that was, but sometimes he would be crying. And I'll never forget, because I just felt like if that were me, I would want somebody to do me and love me the same way and take care of me. I
Right.
wouldn't want nobody to look at me and decide that this is not what they want to do anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Um, because that happens.
Right.
That happens. And I just always wanted him to know that
Mm.
come what may, I was going to stick in there with him because I loved him and he was good to me and my kids. We never wanted for anything. So just his life alone spoke for itself.
Wow.
So for me to be sitting here talking to you, sometimes I feel like it's not really about me. It's about
Mhm.
him and the legacy that he left for me and my kids.
Wow.
If I can just live up to just a little bit of his standard, I would be doing amazing.
Wow.
Because he was just a great man. He really was.
Wow. That is amazing. Y'all, I knew this conversation was gonna be so good. Oh my God, Tanya. This is great. I am so now out of after that. So how long so before you met Jonathan, how
Mhm.
long was it before you were able to be like, okay, I'm gonna try again? Were you ever in that state, or were you just, you know, because you can dress and you are beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
I know you don't stay in the house. I know you be outside. So was it like, look, I read social media really well. Okay. And I was in psyops for 15 years. So I can read body language. So after your husband passed and your kids are grown, everything like that. So how long were you in relationships, or was Jonathan like, were you or were you not?
Well, okay. After my husband passed away,
Your
uh,
daughter said you outside more than her. Look, where were y'all at? Y'all was at a red carpet event the other week, weren't you?
I'm always somewhere with Jonathan, just living life, okay?
Yes, yes.
But after my husband passed away, number one, that was a total adjustment for me because I yeah, that was major for me because I've never had to work
Mm,
because he took care of me. So when he passed away, I decided it was my choice that dating wasn't an option for me. I didn't want to date. I didn't want to do any of that. I
mm.
just wanted to find my place in life and society again.
Got you.
Because life was moving, but I was like in this bubble because I was so busy taking care of him and my kids. So
So it was like those movies, like you
yes,
you walked outside, you was like, okay, it's 2000 and okay,
absolutely,
what is
absolutely.
going on?
That's a good
Okay.
way of putting it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I wasn't interested in anything like that. And I believe that the Lord gave me time. And actually, He gave me 10 years because I took 10 years after my husband passed to spend time with my daughters, spend
Okay.
time with my grandkids. I traveled a little bit. I rediscovered myself
Right.
because I had just gotten so lost.
I
So I
understand.
learned to get back to what Tanya liked.
Right.
So that took me 10 years to do that. I didn't date for 10 years.
Wow.
No.
10 years
10 years.
of turning people down. God, I know they
10 years.
I know
Was
they
not interested. 10 years.
But let me tell y'all something. If you have something on you that you can put off an aura that lets people know that you don't want, you're not interested. I think a lot of people feel like that I have people knocking down. I don't, because I put off this aura that I'm just not interested. Don't even come
Well,
my way.
yeah. Yeah, but then I think with me, I was getting a lot of during that time when I wasn't interested, a lot of guys were telling me that I was intimidating for them.
That's yeah.
So when they said that, that further let me know that that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing at that
Right,
time.
right.
Because if I'm intimidating to you, there's no way that there would even be a connection, because you would always feel like that I would need you for something, because they used to tell me, well, just your outer appearance, you're too costly.
Really?
Yeah. So, be that as it may, 10 years was good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That
Yeah.
because that was a I like the way you said you spent time with your daughters, your grandkids. You just found out who you were. So
Yes.
now 10 years has passed. Now
Yeah.
take us through that journey.
Okay. After 10 years passed and the Lord blessed me to kind of, well, he not kind of, but to get up on my feet, to find my place in life, and to get my happy place back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I didn't even go to my husband's grave site. I just could never go. I
Mm,
just went to the grave site about maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
I can
But
relate.
yeah, but after that, I think, I don't know, I began to kind of open myself up to the possibility of dating. And
Mm-hmm.
I did go out on a couple of dates with a couple of guys, but I don't know. I just started to feel like I had missed something, because the mentality of these men was just so far fetched to me. And I remember thinking that I deserved better. But I
Yeah.
remember my third daughter used to always tell me, Mommy, there's nothing wrong with going out to dinner, because you have the upper hand and you can always let it go.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I just went out on a couple of dates from time to time, and let it go when I was tired of it, I guess. Because a lot of the ways some of these men treat women, no, I'm not your girl. You're not going to just
Right.
treat me any kind of way.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think more of myself. I've been through too much for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
So you keep your high standard.
absolutely.
That's great. Because a lot
Absolutely.
some people they lower it because they are lonely. But listen to Tanya, keep your standards high and
Absolutely.
you'll land who you need to land in your life.
For sure. For sure. Yes.
Jonathan says she looks like high maintenance. So I guess he's saying you're really not high maintenance. You just look like you're high maintenance.
Yeah, because I'm really not. But I'm just saying that's what was told to me
Hmm.
down through the years. Yeah.
That was just a that was just they was just trying to test you, that's all.
That's all. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all. I
And
believe
so
that.
tell the people how old you are so they ain't gonna believe it. So tell them
I
anyway.
am 62 years young.
Tanya is 62 and Jonathan is 64 and they got engaged last year. So tell us how
He's
you
65.
he's 65. Jonathan, you 65. Oh my God. He already told the story from his lens, but tell us, how did you meet Jonathan? And why were you so open to him?
Well, okay. I met Jonathan in 2021 at the Stella Awards.
Okay.
He was the host, and my son-in-law, he opened up the show, him and his group.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the reason I was there. So we went to the after party, and my son-in-law went to Jonathan and said, "There is someone I want you to meet." So at the time, Jonathan said that he was kind of in a relationship, sort of, and was
Oh,
kind of tired after the night and wasn't really in the mood to meet nobody, but he met me anyway.
he was being boozed. Didn't want to
So,
meet nobody. Oh my God.
so we met, hi, how are you? He complimented me, and I was like, thank you. And that was it. But the funniest, weirdest thing, and I haven't told anybody this, but when he walked away, there was a still small voice that said, "That's your husband."
Really?
And I kind of shook myself, and I was like, "What?" And some said, "That's your husband." And I remember I responded and I said, "If this is you, God, you will confirm it and everything will work out fine." And I left it at that. So I got home, went about my day, went about my week. I don't know how soon after, but he inboxed me and he sent me a message, saying it was a pleasure to meet me, blah, 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 blah. So that's how it started.
Okay. That's
That's
good.
how it started. Yeah.
So he slid in your DM. Jonathan.
But the
Okay.
thing about that was, I mean, we talked for a while, but I noticed that we were not aligned. We were just not aligned, and I knew that. And I just said, "Okay, God, like I said, if this is you, I know everything's gonna be all right." So I kind of backed up,
Okay.
and he agreed. And I don't know how long of a time had lapsed, but I blocked him from all social media.
Oh no! Wait a minute. You
Yes.
got blocked?
Yes, I deleted his phone number, and I just took him to God in prayer, and I told God, "You know me. You know the type of woman that I am. You know what I need, you know what I want, and you know what I desire. And if this is the man that you have sent for me, there are some things I need you to do. You need to work on some things."
Lord, Jonathan, you didn't tell that part.
So I backed up. I did. I backed up. I backed up.
Jeez. Oh,
I
I
sure
love it.
did.
I love it.
I
I
backed
love
up.
it.
Yeah, I
Okay, and
backed up.
so when you backed up, he was like, "Hold on."
But I didn't talk to Jonathan. It was a while. It was a while. It was a while. But the strangest thing
He
about
said I
that
was.
was,
He said I was stupid at first.
be that as it may. But later on, I don't know how he was able to get in touch with me, but my phone beamed and it was him out the blue sky.
She said, "I don't know how." He called you from another phone.
I said, "Oh, okay." So yeah, so we've been back together ever since, and he came back a totally different man.
Wow.
Totally
We're going to
different
clap
man.
our hands for that. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, all men think they can have their cake and eat it too. No, sir. Not when
No,
it comes to a woman that has value. She not gonna let that happen.
absolutely. And he needed to know that up front.
Yep. Yep.
He needed to know that.
Because
Yeah.
if you let one of my male friends said, if you let a man will play as long as you let him play. If you let him do it, he gonna do
Well, I understand that, but you ain't gonna play on my watch.
it.
Because see, I've never, there's some certain things in life, some people experience and some people don't. So when it comes to a lot of foolishness with men, I've never experienced any of that, because like I said, my husband was, he was the cream of the, I don't know what else to say about him. And I'm not
Right.
trying to, but he was just one of those good men. I
Right.
never had to worry about um, any of the stuff a lot of couples worry about. I never had to deal with any of that. So I wasn't going to start dealing with it
Right.
with Jonathan or anyone else.
Right.
So, because Jonathan, no, if he wanted to be over here, there were things that he had to do to come up on.
But look at y'all now. I am so happy that you guys, I can tell that y'all are happy.
Oh my God, Jonathan, if I can boast on Jonathan a little bit, Jonathan is the most loving, thoughtful,
Hmm.
caring, attentive, um, respectful, just good. He's just a great guy. I'm so thankful for him. I really am. He
That is
makes me happy.
oh. And that says a lot coming from I learned he from Atlanta. Like, Lord. He from Atlanta? I don't believe it. But I ain't gonna talk about your city, Jonathan. I ain't gonna talk about your city. But anyway, but I am so I when I'm coming to his presence, he's always been a gentleman. So I
Yeah,
know that he's a good guy from
he
what I
really is.
he's
He's
a
a
really good
great guy.
yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
he's a great guy. And he respects my past.
That's what I'm seeing him say. He said your late husband set the standard. So it takes a special man
Yes, it does.
to know how much you loved your late husband to
Yes.
to be okay with that, because some men could be feel a certain type of way
Could be
concerning that.
intimidated. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
even though he's not here, but
Absolutely.
they're still like, okay, she still love him, like what am I supposed to do? But it takes a special man, and
It
so
really does.
I'm glad that you found somebody that understands your situation. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a good guy. And like I said, I appreciate uh, Jonathan for that. He always speaks highly of my deceased husband. He, even though he's never met him or anything, he
hmm,
just always has pleasant things to say and respectful. And I appreciate that. I don't take that lightly.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Could you tell if anybody have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat so we can ask, because we're talking to someone that has walked this thing out. But I have a question. So when you were able to find yourself after the 10 years, did you feel guilty about moving on, but or did you just was like, okay, this is I know my husband will want me to just move on? Did you feel guilty?
Honestly, I felt both. I felt a level of guilt. I felt a level of guilt for so many reasons. Number one, because I was still living. Number
Mhm.
two, um, because being a young woman, I still had a whole life ahead of me. And at the time, I didn't necessarily think about relationships, but I knew as time went on that those feelings and desires would come back.
Right,
So there was a level of guilt,
right,
but I don't know. I think I just learned how to, because my husband did. He wanted me to be happy because he would tell us when he would go into the hospital. He would always tell me and my kids, just because I'm in the hospital, don't stop living life.
mm,
So when he actually died and all of the people were gone, we went home to an empty house.
mhm,
And that them words came back to me. Life goes on.
Mm.
And it really does. The world doesn't stop
Right.
when people die. You know, life goes on. And I just thank God, because I think my husband prepared us for his death,
Mhm.
because he taught us so much during the process.
Mm.
So it wasn't as hard um, when he passed away. Because I remember when I went to the funeral home to make the arrangements, and the guy, I was crying. I was just bawling tears. And he
Right.
looked at me and he said, there's something different about you. He said, as many husbands as I bury, and I see the wives come in here, fake crying. He said, they turn around and get married the next day.
Wow.
He said, but you, he said, I don't see that. He said, you love that man. I said, yes, sir, I did.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
I
Mm.
said, yes, sir, I really did. So, yeah.
Wow. And Jonathan, your family is on YouTube saying that they got Tanya's back. So if you ever did something, just know it's over for you. It's over for you. So you got to do what's right. All right. Her daughters are all married musical versions of their father. I'm still waiting on mine. Your daughter said I'm still waiting on mine. Oh
My oldest
God.
daughter, she's
The
the only one
oldest,
that's not
yeah.
married.
Okay, we have a question. I've been single for very long time. Celibate since she said celebrate since 2012. I dated a guy for a couple of months in 2016. Found out he was separated from a wife, so I moved on. I don't even know how to respond when guys approach me. I just smile and get away. What is my problem?
Hmm. Well, I think your level of trust has been violated.
Mm,
You know, your level of trust. And I think sometimes we as women, God made us so special. We're so caring. We're so loving. Um, and we're willing to put up with stuff sometimes.
mm-hmm.
But that's why I was saying earlier, once you know yourself and know your values and know what you want, I think sometimes that all of the other little stuff will be eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are in a relationship and you're only there because of being lonely, that's the wrong reason to be in a relationship.
Right.
Because you can't go into a relationship, or a man or a woman, without being whole.
Right. Come on.
So, with that being said, that's why I said, for me, I know myself. I've invested in myself. So that's why it took me 10 years to grieve.
Right.
Now, I could have, maybe, but that wasn't in my mind to do that. I wasn't ready for that. And I wasn't going to allow no man to pressure me in that area.
Right.
So I would say to her, I mean, you're going to have to build up your level of trust, because at the end of the day, you have to know what you want. Don't settle.
Right. Don't
Please don't settle.
settle. Do not settle.
Yeah, don't settle.
And I say that for the men too. I think there are some good men out here too that end up
That
settling,
settle. I do too. I agree.
because
Hmm.
um they have everything, and now society has taught women that you really don't have to bring nothing to this table but what's in between your legs. I think that is horrible. And I just feel like that some men, they just settle.
Yeah.
And when they find a woman like yourself or myself, and that they be like, oh wow, these women are great, but they settle with someone else that don't even bring nothing to the table. I think that is crazy.
Okay, but sometimes, okay, now this is just me. Because when I dated my husband, we were both young.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to have looked at what he had,
Yeah.
then if that was the type of person I was, that, to have thought, well, since he didn't have nothing, I don't want to be with him. That ain't the one I want to marry. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So
because
sometimes
I'm married at 18 too.
did you?
I was 18 years old when I got married.
Because I
And
think sometimes when we say bringing stuff to the table, sometimes we think it's always materialistic things. But
mm,
we have to realize now, my mentality was, me and my husband, we both got married young.
yeah,
Neither one of us had anything,
yeah,
but we were determined to get something and grow together with it.
right.
But nowadays, you got to have a Lexus, you got to have a home, you got to have $100,000 in the bank. You know what I'm saying? A cat, the
Yeah.
dog, and some gerbils. No.
Well, I will say this, Tanya, because I married when I was young, right? And
Uh-huh.
I didn't have nothing. Now that I have something, I I don't see myself getting with anybody that I don't see myself getting with anybody that don't have at least the same salary I have because I mean, I just don't see that. I just don't because I have a high salary and I just
Okay.
don't I did that before. I
Uh-huh.
I was the only person that was working and everything like that. I don't want to do that no more. Like
Okay.
mm,
Well,
no.
you've been there and done that.
I've been there and done that. Now if it's your first rodeo, you can't do that. You got to come up like we came up. I done came up. I ain't trying to go back down. No way.
Yeah.
Not doing
I
that.
mean, I get that, but that's why I said, it depends on the person. I think everybody is different.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you are, your mentality, and what you want and what you expect.
I think we are frozen. So on that
Are
note,
we-
everybody, thank you for joining us because it's gonna shut down. We got to talk with Tanya again, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation. And Jonathan, he advocates for men. Let me tell you something. So,
Oh,
what
yeah.
about the most important things? The most important things, y'all can hear us, but we're frozen. The most important things is this, okay? I want to love. I want the man to love me. We're gonna go through this one more time. I do. All right, but love don't pay my bills. I was young and dumb then. It's all we have is each other. But now that I got money, no. Mm-mm.
I understand. All right, guys. I don't know where she is. Can y'all still see me? I guess she's still frozen.
Y'all is nosy. Y'all still here? If you are still here, you are nosy. If you are still on this live, you are nosy as heck. Because I told y'all goodbye and the live was froze and y'all still here. Why are you still here? Because you nosy. All right, I'm gonna close it out real good. I just want to thank Tanya for coming on. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. The live froze. We're gonna have to do a part 2 with her. Thank you all for being on, and I will see you next week at 7 o'clock. Next week is the last Tuesday in March. We are going to have a game night in honor of my birthday. And after that, I'm going on spring break, and I probably won't be back until the beginning of August. So if you want to see me, you better come next week because that's going to be the last time I go live for a while because I'm going to take a break. I have noticed that I've been going live every week for about a year and some change. But if you stayed here till I came back, you nosy because I told y'all bye and you stayed anyway. All right, so I love you guys and have a wonderful, wonderful night. God bless.